In this video, we're going to be learning how to optimize your Amazon listing in 11 simple steps to increase your sales. I just wanted to let you know that this video isn't going to be some long and boring lesson. It's a short and simple guide. I recommend grabbing a pen and paper to take notes. Or better yet, subscribe to this channel so you can easily find this video again. Let's get started. In 2017, Amazon posted a record-breaking net sales revenue of $178 billion US. Now that's a lot of money. If you're watching this video, I'm sure you want a piece of that. A common mistake I see a lot of new sellers make is they think they can simply put up a product listing, sit back, relax, and watch money come flowing into their bank account within the week. That's not how it works. Amazon is a competitive marketplace. To make money on Amazon, you have to compete. To compete, you're going to need a proven sales and marketing strategy. Upcoming, I'll be sharing with you the best practices, strategies, and steps Amazon bestsellers use to optimize their product listing to dominate the market. Step number 1. Use the right keywords. The first step in optimizing your listing is to perform keyword research. Your goal is to find the right keywords for your product to drive traffic to your listing. So what makes the right keywords, you ask? Well, the right keywords are highly relevant to your product and have high search volume. I do have to emphasize the use of relevant keywords to drive relevant traffic to your listing. There's no point of using irrelevant keywords to index in more queries. Even though your listing may appear in more searches, customers won't be compelled to buy your product because it wasn't the product they were looking for. As a consequence, your conversion rate will suffer, which in turn will negatively affect your search rank. What you need to know: search rank is primarily based on sales, conversion, and ranking signals. Keywords are of secondary importance. The more relevant keywords you use, the better, as you're creating a bigger target for Amazon's search engine to index your listing, which will bring more traffic. Place your best keywords in the title because it will be given the most weight in the search engine. Place your other relevant keywords in the bullet point section as long as it sounds good and fits in naturally with your sales copy. Don't force it. You can place any leftover keywords in the search term section of your listing. In this section, you're allowed to use up to 249 bytes total. I recommend taking advantage and using up as many bytes as possible to better index your listing and rank higher. To recap, the lesson here is, the more relevant traffic you drive to your listing, the more potential sales you'll get. Step number 2. Write an attention-grabbing title. Once your listing shows up in relevant search queries, your second task is to entice customers to click on your listing above all others. You'll achieve this by creating an attractive title. A common mistake I see sellers make is they would overstuff their title with as many keywords as possible in the hopes of showing up in more search queries. The problem with this strategy is you end up with a title that's ridiculously long, messy, and confusing the buyers. You have to remember, your task is to write a title that's good for Amazon's search engine and good for customers. It's a balancing act. A golden rule you need to follow is you should always prioritize the customer experience first above everything else. Why? Because they're the ones with the credit cards, not the robots. So what makes an attention-grabbing title, you ask? Well, an attractive title is a title that's concise, easy to understand, creates interest, and describes your product. The best practices to follow to optimize your title are to keep the length to around 200 characters because of Amazon's character limit policy. The exact character limit will vary depending on which market and category you're selling in, so you should always check. Include the product name, the brand name to build brand recognition. Insert your best keywords since they'll be given the most weight in this section. Include a unique selling proposition, feature, or benefits to create interest. Descriptors such as size, color, amount, etc. to provide technical information. This is the general template I like to use when I write attention-grabbing titles. Step number 3. Write with a native speaker. It would be in your best interest to hire a copywriter who natively speaks the language of the market you wish to sell in. For example, if you plan on selling in Amazon Japan, it would be best if you hired a copywriter from Japan who speaks Japanese perfectly. Or, if you plan on selling in Amazon US, Canada, UK, or Australia, it would be in your best interest to hire a copywriter who lives in one of those countries and speaks perfect English. Why does this matter, you ask? Well, customers expect professional standards, and professional standards require perfect and fluent writing. A listing full of spelling and grammar mistakes looks unprofessional to customers and will completely turn them off because it's confusing, it shows a lack of effort to achieve standards, and most importantly, the low quality of the writing will lead customers to think the product being sold is of low quality as well. All of which will kill your sales. It's important to note that translation is more than the literal translation of words from one language to another. You also have to translate meaning, expressions, slang, as well as accommodate cultural style and etiquette. Only a native speaker would be able to accomplish these tasks. Step number 4. Highlight the features and benefits of your product in bullet points. An important thing you need to know about online shoppers is they have really short attention spans. Online shoppers don't like to thoroughly read. Instead, they like to quickly scan and skim for information. In this case, what they're looking for is the features and benefits of your product. The bullet points section is your opportunity to highlight and summarize the value of your product. Some best practices to follow to write optimized bullet points are to be concise. Online shoppers have short attention spans, so it's in your best interest to keep each bullet point to around 250 characters in length. It's the perfect amount that's not too long and not too short. In your bullet points, you need to address why customers should buy your product, a unique selling proposition to differentiate yourself from competitors, any important or notable aspects about your product, answer any concerns or objections customers may have, and most importantly, present your product as a solution to needs or problems. Step number 5. Write a description with a story. The product description section is your opportunity to provide a further explanation of the technical aspects, features, and benefits of your product, in addition to what you've already written in the bullet points. To make your description more interesting, include a short story. The purpose of a short story is to provide an example of when and where your product can be beneficial. A good story is one that influences customers to imagine using your product and the benefits it provides. With your description and story, your goal isn't to write a novel or a manual. Your goal is to briefly summarize the value and details of your product. Some best practices to follow are to keep it up to 2,000 characters in length because of Amazon's character limit. Ensure it's easy to read by using simple language and short sentences. Allow customers to skim and scan by breaking up your description into short paragraphs with HTML coding. Don't bore customers with too many technical details. Instead, focus on the benefits. And don't waste characters by focusing on the placement of keywords because any keywords placed in this section have little to no effect on your search rank. Instead, it's more productive to use the limited characters you're allowed towards crafting persuasive sales copy. Step number 6. Have attractive product images. The sixth step in optimizing your listing is to have attractive product images. You're allowed to have up to 9 images in your listing. I recommend taking advantage and using all 9. Product images are an essential part of your listing success because, as humans, we're visually oriented by nature. Product images are essential for catching the attention of customers and creating a good impression. In fact, an eye-tracking case study done by SEO Max shows that customers focus mostly on the main image before anything else. To add to that, customers in large part will base their purchasing decisions on whether they like what they see or not. That's why attractive product images are so important to your listing success. When it comes to product photography, you have 2 options. Your first option is to get it done by a professional. Your second option is to do it yourself. Either way, you need to follow some best practices to achieve optimized product images. The bigger the image size, the better. Amazon minimum requirements state that images should at least be 1000 pixels in width and height. In this case, more is better because bigger images result in more detail. So when customers zoom in on the product images, the image will still be clear, not blurry or fuzzy. Big image sizes allow customers to zoom in and inspect close up in full detail exactly what they'll be buying, which will make them feel more comfortable about making a purchase. The more comfortable customers are, the more sales you're likely to get. You should also have good lighting. All your images should have adequate lighting to properly display your product. It shouldn't be too dark or too bright. Here's an example of good and bad product images. Your images also need to be clean. What that means is that you need to have a few images that just show your product with a plain white background without any other distractions. In fact, Amazon requires that your main image should have a plain white background without any infographics or watermarks. It also states that your product should fill at least 85% of the photo. To further showcase your product, you should have a couple clean images showing your product from different angles. Outside of your main image, you should include infographics in your other images to better highlight the value, benefits, and features of your product. Just don't overdo it and make the infographics too distracting. You should also have lifestyle images. The purpose of lifestyle images is to provide demonstrations of your product's use and value. Have models demonstrate your product to influence customers to imagine themselves in the role of the model and fantasize about the benefits of your product. To learn how to optimize your product images, you need to watch my other video, How to Optimize Your Amazon Product Photography. Step number 7. Run a PPC campaign, temporarily. It's no secret that highly ranked listings generate more traffic, which in turn generate more sales. But if you're selling in a competitive category full of other sellers competing for a higher position, it's going to be difficult to rank high organically. What you're going to need to do is artificially boost your rank temporarily with a PPC campaign. With your PPC campaign, ideally, your ACoS should be 25% or lower. If you find your listing struggling to show up on the first page, you may need to consider setting your bid higher to catch more sessions and more potential sales. This strategy may not be profitable in the short term, but you should think of it as a temporary expense for long-term success. I'll explain why. As I mentioned before in step 1, one of the biggest factors of your search rank is sales. A highly ranked listing receives more sessions, which in turn leads to more potential sales. The cycle continues as more sales result in a higher rank, which in turn leads to more sessions and in turn leads to more sales. You can think of a PPC campaign as jumpstarting a positive feedback loop towards more sales. Once your listing has generated enough sales from your PPC campaign, Amazon's search engine will organically rank your listing on the first page without the need to run another campaign, assuming your listing can continue to generate more sales above others. Step number 8. Gain positive reviews. Positive reviews, 4 stars or higher, are a crucial component of your listing success because of 2 reasons. Number 1. Search rank, and number 2. Social proof. A big factor of search rank is positive reviews. The more positive reviews your listing has, the higher your search rank will be, which in turn will lead to higher traffic and a higher conversion rate. What you need to know. Customers in large part will base their purchasing decisions on reviews. Why, you ask? Well, because reviews are a form of social proof. Positive reviews provide social proof that the product being sold is good. The more positive reviews you have, the better, as you'll gain more trust and credibility with customers, which will dramatically increase your conversion rate. So, how do you gain more positive reviews, you ask? The answer is simple. You just need to ask. There's a saying in sales, if you don't ask, you won't get. You can ask by placing inserts in your product package, asking customers to voluntarily provide an honest feedback of your product by writing a customer review. You can also ask for reviews with an email campaign. Some best practices to follow with your email campaign are to use automated email services. To make sure your email campaign is a fast and efficient one, I recommend using automated email services such as JumpSend, MailChimp, or Sendy. Inform and follow up. Inform customers when they can expect their product to arrive. Follow up by asking about their experience to show customers they're valued and then ask for their honest feedback. As always, you should make sure that your email campaign complies with Amazon seller policies regarding reviews because any violations can result in penalties such as losing your reviews or having your account suspended. Here's a brief statement from Amazon regarding the review policies. I'll leave it up to you to pause the video so you can read through it thoroughly. Step number 9. Use Amazon compliant launch services. Launch services are a great way to get a new product with no reviews in the hands of shoppers who are eager to provide their honest feedback. With launch services, you gain advantage of quickly gaining customer reviews, which will boost your sales velocity and improve your sales rank. A good launch service that comes to mind is VIPon. Step number 10. Use FBA. In April 2018, Amazon reached a record-breaking 100 million Prime members globally, and that number continues to grow as customers love the superior service and benefits that come with a Prime membership. When you use FBA, it's like you'll be adding some of that superior service and benefits to your listing, which will greatly appeal to customers. Here are some reasons why you should strongly consider using FBA. Number 1. Shipping becomes free for customers. With FBA, the shipment of your product becomes free for Prime members as the shipping costs are already included in their Prime membership. With non-Prime members, shipping is free as well as long as they meet the minimum order amount. Put yourself in the mind of the customer. Would you rather buy from a seller who independently ships their product at an additional cost, or buy from a seller who uses FBA with no additional shipping cost? The answer is obvious. If I were the customer, I would rather buy from an FBA seller to avoid paying for shipping. Number 2. Faster delivery service. With FBA, your product can be delivered to customers in 1 or 2 days, thanks to Amazon's delivery system, which is far superior above all others. Put yourself in the mind of the customer. Would you rather buy from a seller who independently ships their product, which can take weeks to deliver, or buy from an FBA seller who can deliver their product in 1 or 2 days? The answer is obvious. If I was the customer, I would rather buy from an FBA seller to avoid waiting longer for my order to arrive. 3. Easy returns for customers. One of the benefits an FBA product listing provides customers is that it's covered under Amazon's own return policy, which gives customers the option to return purchases easily and at no cost. Put yourself in the mind of the customer. Would you rather buy from a third-party seller who requires you to go through a troublesome return process, or buy an FBA product which is supported by Amazon's customer service and hassle-free return system? The answer is obvious. If I was the customer, I would rather buy an FBA product for hassle-free returns. With returns in mind, this takes us to the next step. Step number 11. Provide warranties and guarantees. Imagine yourself as the customer. You like what you see, and you're willing to pay the cost, but what's holding you back from making a purchase is the fear that you may potentially receive a defective unit, or the product may break down in the future, or the product could be falsely advertised and not meet your expectations. Buyer fear or doubt is one of the biggest obstacles to closing a sale, and the only way to overcome this is to back up your product with warranties and guarantees. Warranties give customers peace of mind by providing support in case they receive a defective unit, or in case the product breaks down in the future. While guarantees give customers confidence that what's being advertised is true and the product will meet their expectations. By providing customers with peace of mind and confidence, you'll make them feel more comfortable about making a purchase. As a result, you'll see an increase in your conversion rate. And this concludes our 11 steps. As a thank you for watching until the end, I have one bonus step: neuromarketing. If you really want to optimize your listing further above the competition and dominate the market, incorporate neuromarketing principles. Neuromarketing is the newest and most advanced approach to advertising. Simply put, neuromarketing is a psychological approach to sales. Neuromarketing was developed from two disciplines: neuroscience, and marketing. In regards to your Amazon listing, neuromarketing studies have discovered that a large part of our purchasing decisions is largely based on emotions and subconscious primal needs. A quick overview of these subconscious primal needs are survival and enjoyment of life, enjoyment of food and beverages, protection from dangers or illness, attracting a mate, comfortable living conditions, to be superior, care and protection of loved ones, and social acceptance or approval. By incorporating neuromarketing elements in your listing, you'll be differentiating yourself from your competition and see a dramatic improvement in your sales. To learn more, watch my other video, How to Optimize Your Amazon Listing with Neuromarketing. And this concludes our video. I hope you found this short and simple guide helpful. If you did, I kindly ask you to hit the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you can further learn how to improve your business. If you find yourself too busy to do the work yourself, I can help. Just click on the link. Thanks for watching.